Mexican food, Hispanic food, more Hispanic food, Mexican food, a hint of Native American food, more New Mexican food, and some more New Mexican food. Alright guys, I made this video. Oh, my head is in the way. You can't. Oh, you see the year right there. I made this video in 2016. That's about what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And I've been wanting to do an update on this video for a long time. And today's the day we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna give you guys how it's been living in New Mexico for the past 4 years. And I'm from New York. I was born and raised in New York my whole life. Southside of Jamaica, Queens, you know. So let's get into it. Before we even start this, I just want to say the last video I mentioned, we almost hit 3,000 subscribers. Well, right now we at 3,100 some change. So shout out to you guys. It's mad new people. A lot of people are here from the gaming stuff or me building that PC, or a lot of people here from me working on my car. Anyways, welcome guys. Welcome to the K fam, the K family. Today's going to be specifically about what it's like living in New Mexico from New York. You know, I moved from, you know, like the #1 city in the world to desert. You know, like, so how's it been? What is it like? Also, I'm assuming a lot of you guys click this video because you want to move to New Mexico and you live in New York and you want to see what it's like. Or you want to leave New York, you know, and maybe you come to New Mexico for a job or maybe military. Most of the people that move here is from a family member is out here, or it's military, or it's for a job. That's mostly why people move here. That from my understanding. I do work at a car dealership, and I meet a lot of different people every single day. I meet a lot of people from New Mexico, and their stories is all not from New Mexico, from New York, and their stories is all different. And probably about 80% of everyone that probably should move the mic closer. Everyone that I've met that's moved here from New York is because of work or military or something, or they got stationed here or something like that. So let's look at New Mexico real fast, you know, before we even, you know, get, dang, your glasses is like making a big circle around my head top. So this is New Mexico. First of all, we gotta do a little geographic lesson real quick, because when I first moved here, a lot of people thought that this was Mexico. A lot of people don't even know this exists. This state exists, especially people in the East Coast. Yeah, y'all crazy. New Mexico is right here, right below Colorado, you know, Arizona, right above Texas, you know, right next to Texas. And Mexico is like, there is a borderline here to get to Mexico in New Mexico. But this is where New Mexico is. Cali is over here. I gotta teach people this. But this is the United States of America. New York is here. New Mexico is here. All right. So there's two major, I think the capital is Santa Fe, right? Yeah, I think the capital is Santa Fe, New Mexico. To the people that are familiar with New Mexico, everyone's probably gonna know Albuquerque and Santa Fe. And I'll say that because Albuquerque is the balloon fiesta, and people from around the world come to balloon fiesta every year. There's a pandemic going on right now, so I think they canceled this year, but everyone knows about balloon fiesta if you know about balloon fiesta. Now, and then I think Santa Fe is like a lot of tourists go to Santa Fe and Albuquerque too, but mostly Santa Fe, because Santa Fe is like, I don't know, it's like a different type of world up there. It's like, you know, cost of living is higher. The way how everything's laid out is kind of different. There's a lot of Soho vibes in Santa Fe. So if you're watching this and you live in New York, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you live in New Mexico now, like you're one of my subscribers and you don't know what I'm talking about in New York, bear with me. Anyways, but besides Albuquerque and Santa Fe, you have all these other different places. So you have Farmington, Raton, you know, Taos, Gallup, Santa Rosa. And you got even South New Mexico, Las Cruces. So because of my job, I've driven all over this place. I've driven everywhere. I've been to Farmington. This is like 3 hours away from Albuquerque. Oh yeah, I live in Albuquerque, by the way, if you guys didn't know. But this is about 3 hours away. Anyways, New Mexico is a desert state. There's not a lot of green. You can look at the map. It's not a lot of green. Look at Albuquerque. Look at all the little green you see. And then the city is like mostly right here. So there's not a lot of green. What I can tell you, if you're trying to move here from New York, is you're going to love the weather. So all year round, You get all the seasons, of course, but summertime, you get these hot days when it's like over 100 degrees, but there's barely no humidity. So you go in the shade, you Gucci. You know, like if you nighttime, it gets desert cold. So it could be summertime where it's hot all day long, and then the sun sets and it's chilly and it's mad nice the whole summer. Springtime is perfect. I love spring and fall because they're not too hot, not too cold. Wintertime, if you live in Albuquerque, it don't get that cold. I mean, you're probably not gonna need a jacket, or you're gonna wear like a little small jacket. I get cold easily, so I probably always have my little small jacket, but it don't get like in New York where it's like negative 12 degrees and stuff like that. It's actually decent cold winters, pretty much. But yeah, the winters is chill, and it don't snow as much. I mean, recently you guys saw my vlog. That's the most snow I've seen in a long time. I think last year or the year before on Thanksgiving it snowed like that. But since I've been here, I've seen two like snow days like the last vlog. The past few vlogs I posted out, and I've been here for 4 years. So it doesn't snow here. I think if you live more up north though, like up here, then you get a lot more snow, and you get a lot more of that type of weather. But if you're gonna be here, sent like right in the middle of New Mexico, weather is Gucci. You don't have to worry about East Coast stuff, and you don't have to worry about California, like West Coast stuff. It's Gucci. You're gonna love the weather. What you're also gonna love is there's not a lot of people here. So let me show you the population real fast. So here in New Mexico, the total population is 2 million. Like that's nothing, compared to New York, right? So the highest demographic in New Mexico is white Caucasian. So if you look, there's about a million white people here, and 68% of the whole population in New Mexico. That's like super high. That's more than half of New Mexico, which is pretty interesting. The next highest is Hispanic or Latino, which is 46%. So this is that. So if you come to New Mexico, expect to see a lot of white people, a lot of Hispanic people. I mean, that's just what it is. 14% is other races. 9% is American Indian. And it's crazy because there's some reservations and stuff here too, but it's not that much. Well, there's a lot, but I guess the population is, look, 193,000. That's, Now, let's look at black or African American, because you're probably watching this because you are black and you want to leave New York. You're tired of New York, or you have to come over here for something. And you want to see, like, yo, am I going to see other people like me, other brothers? No. Boy, look, 2%. And this form I'm watching right now, this is a 2020, so this is for 2020. 2% black people. And my 4 years of being here, this is true. I'm a car salesman, so I'm at the dealership all the time, and I see different types of people all the time. I can count on my fingers how many times I've seen like a black couple or a black person, or coming in to buy a car, because there's barely any here. So be very wary of that, because I came from New York where I grew up around black people, and that was it. Like, you barely seen any white people. You've seen some Hispanics, but, in Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens, majority, it was black people. That's all I grew up around. So since I came out here, like in New York too, if I go to the city or something like that, they see different demographics, but it's always been mostly black. And then you're out here, you're not. So if you, like I said, if you want to come out here, you want to have a friend, hey, you got me. But I'm pretty a busy dude though, so I'm not always available. But yeah, there's not a lot of black people out here. And then everything else, 3 or more races, below 1%. Native, Hawaiian, Pacific, below 1%. Native Hawaiian, below. Like Asian is 1%. And there are a lot of my customers. Well, no, not a lot. All my customers are white or Hispanic. They're mostly white. But I'll get some Asian customers. And I get some black customers too, but it's really low. Like, look, 42,000. This is the whole New Mexico. And I guarantee you, majority of them's in Albuquerque anyways, because it's going to be kind of scary being, in those small little towns in New Mexico where it's mostly just white people. Like, I don't know. I can't do it, So some people can't do it. All right, so we jumped to New York real fast. So this is where I'm from. So for people that's watching this from New Mexico and don't know where I'm from from Queens, New York, and this is a big state. There's a lot of people in New York. I mean, you guys probably mostly know Manhattan, right here. What the hell is that? Manhattan? Oh, that's Manhattan. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm bugging. Manhattan right here. Like, that's in the movies and everything, but I'm from Queens. Michelle's from Brooklyn. So she's from Brooklyn, I'm from Queens, And then you got Long Island out here. Now, Long Island is it's pretty much New Mexico. It's just like New Mexico where there's like no buses, everything is far away, and you have to drive everywhere. That's New Mexico. The only thing is there's not a lot of green. Like New Mexico don't have a lot of green as Long Island. But other than that, New Mexico and Long Island is the same thing to me. Like when I came out here, I'm like, oh, this is Long Island. You know, like it's just with dirt everywhere. But yeah, there's not a lot of people out here. So if you do want to leave, let's say New York is too crowded, or well, let me give the reason why me and why mostly I left New York and why Michelle left New York. We lived in New York our whole life, right? We had the opportunity to, because Michelle's family moved to New Mexico from New York. So me and her had the opportunity to, okay, we want to live together. We want to get our first apartment. We're going to start our life together, but let's get an apartment. Let's see what it's like living with each other. That was our game plan. So we had the opportunity to either, because I visited New Mexico a few times because, like I said, Michelle was out here. So I came out here a few times, and I'm familiar with New Mexico already. Do we stay in New York, get an apartment in New York, or do we go somewhere else? And then if we go somewhere else, do we go to a different state? You know, do we go to Georgia? Do we go to California? You know, So California don't make sense because we were trying to try something new, and California is just a warm New York. You know, I mean, California and New York is two different places though. They have a lot of people, but they're two different types of places. But still, California, no. And then everywhere else, we didn't want to go somewhere where we didn't know anyone there, or we never been there before. Now we're just starting fresh, you know. Like, how will we know where it's good, where it's bad? Now that we lived in New Mexico, we kind of got a feel of everything. And let's go back to New Mexico. So we live in Albuquerque, and when we first moved there, we moved to Albuquerque. So we've been here pretty much 4 years. We just got the house this year, so, and then the house is still in Albuquerque. But it's not as close as where the apartment is. The apartment is more close to my job. The house is a little more further out. So if you guys are planning to come to New Mexico, if you're a brother, if you black, you like me, you want to come to Albuquerque. You want to come to Albuquerque. If you go to any of these other places, I mean, hey, that's you. You know, if you don't mind living with other types of people and you're never gonna see someone like you, that's up to you. But majority of the black people is in Albuquerque and Santa Fe, but mostly Albuquerque, because the cost of living in Santa Fe is pretty high, and a lot of people do leave the big city because cost of living is lower here. I bought a house, you know, like I don't know how I'll buy a house in New York with where I'm at now. I don't know how. I would have probably had to have 2 jobs. And when I lived in New York, I did have 2 jobs. I worked at Macy's, and I worked at FedEx, and went to school at the same time. So I did 2 jobs, school at the same time. Out here now, I got 1 job and doing YouTube, and that's pretty much it. You know, so but there's a flip side to it though. In New York or any big city, there's mad job opportunities. When you come to New Mexico, there's not a lot of job opportunity, and it's just not just New Mexico. If you go anywhere where it's a low population, it's not developed and big like New York, California, Texas, most likely it's not gonna be a lot of jobs there. So even though cost of living is out here, you can probably buy a house out here. Houses are way cheaper, apartments is cheaper, cars are cheaper, gas is cheaper, everything is cheaper. You still could be homeless. There's still a lot of homeless people out here because there's not a lot of job opportunities. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna move here, keep that in mind. One topic I might get on is, I know a lot of people, you guys are probably watching this asking right now, is there a lot of racist people out here? Blah, blah, blah. There's racist people everywhere. I've seen racist people in New York, California. We went to Colorado, we've seen racist people. There's racist people in New Mexico. You guys know how this country was built, so, you know, racist people don't going to disappear. You know, there's a lot of people that feel like they're entitled to this place and only that they belong here. I mean, that's a reality, you know? So, yes, but people in New Mexico are really nice. When I first moved here, it took me a while to get used to everyone being nice, you know? Like, you'll walk around and someone will go, but it's a different nice, because in New York, the nice people you meet, you talk to them, and you guys have a conversation, you know, like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. Out here, it's a nice, like, hi, how you doing? And they keep walking, you know, or they're like, hey, keep walking. They'll wave at you, keep walking, you know, like, there's no, like, people are friendly here, but they're not going to sit there and just have a conversation. You may run into people like that still, but I'm speaking majority. Everyone is friendly, everyone is not friendly, you know, but majority of the people, or the majority of numbers of what I've experienced is what I'm talking about. You're going to have those people that look at you like, because there's not a lot of black people here, so there are some people that, you know, even kids will look at me sometimes like, oh my God, what is he? Like, I've never seen him before, because there's not a lot of black people out here. So, and a lot of parents don't teach kids the different demographics, the different types of people, the different cultures. You know, they teach them what they know, and that's it. So a lot of kids would see me, especially at the dealership, when parents come in with their kids. You know, the babies are staring at me like, what are you? Like, why are you so dark? You know, like, that's just the reality of it. There are a lot of people that probably not gonna like you because you're different. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But like I said, you know, if you're white Hispanic, you're gonna be Gucci no matter where you go. But still, these smaller towns out here, like, let me see let me zoom out. Let me zoom out. Like these, like, let me see what's a good. Let me see. I've driven, but yeah, like Farmington. You know, Farmington's like the I guess it's one of, I think in Farmington was one of the places they found the first UFO or something like that. So if you go to Farmington, everything is like UFO'd out. Like, they love aliens out there. Everything's alien out there because there's a lot of conspiracies in Farmington because of the whole UFO thing they discovered, and it's pretty interesting. But there's like other places, like, you know, a lot of like Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas, like, and like look how small Las Vegas is. This is Las Vegas. So if you guys have remembered, I went on a car cruise to Las Vegas here, and you see how small that place is. There's a lot of small places here, which is pretty interesting. And a lot of these small places, if you black, you barely gonna see black people there. I'm telling you that now. Whenever I go to a car meet, even in Albuquerque, I go to a car meet in Albuquerque, I'll see 1 or 2 black people there, or I'm the only one there. Like, when I like, that's just the lifestyle. That's my lifestyle here. If I ever go anywhere in public, me and Michelle, when we go out to places, it's not a lot of people like here like us. So we're pretty rare here, you know. But it is what it is. But, and I mean, to be honest, I'm more of a homebody anyways. You know, me and Michelle, we will go out to like the mountains, and that's the biggest thing too here is there's a lot of scenery, there's a lot of nature, there's a lot of everything. You know, like, you go outside and there's rabbits running around and road runners and coyotes and stuff like that, and bunnies and stuff. And in New York, there's raccoons, there's possums, and the crazy thing is the raccoon is not running away from you. They're running towards you to take your money. You know, like, there's some they got gangster animals out there, like pigeons. Pigeons don't care. Like, you'll walk by a pigeon, it won't fly away. It's gonna look at you like, are you stupid? Like, you almost stepped on me. You know, like, but out here, you know, you have these cute little animals and stuff like that. You know, some snakes, like bull snakes. Like, the snakes is not dangerous. They're like, you know, little garden snakes and stuff like that. You'll see those. A lot of spiders, and there's scorpions. I mean, it's a desert, so you're gonna see animals like that. But yeah, it is weird seeing coyotes. Like, it's not. And then, I mean, they don't harm you or anything like that. If there's a pack of them, you might get smoked. But if it's one by itself, he's not. You know. If you guys watch me, if you have me on Snapchat or watch my Instagram story, you seen there was that coyote running in the street. Also, if you're gonna move here from New York, you gotta make sure you know how to cook, because the food choices here, boy, it's literally Mexican food, Hispanic food, more Hispanic food, Mexican food, a hint of Native American food, some more New Mexican food, and some more New Mexican food. So there's some places here that, you know, they serve like Caribbean food and stuff like that. And me and Michelle, we tried it, but it's not the same. Here and there, a dash of chicken and waffle, and, you know, African food and Jamaican food, but majority of those, there's like 3 stores that serves type of food like that, and those stores it's someone that's from one of those places, and they try to make dishes from other places, from other islands as well. So it's not the same, but there are some options there. Santa Fe too. Santa Fe got some cool restaurants and stuff, but there's a lot of like mama and pop stores or restaurants that you're not gonna find nowhere else. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good if you're into Hispanic food or Mexican food. And of course, there's a lot of New Mexican food as well. But yeah, if you, like I said, like in New York, you know, in New York, every corner there's a Jamaican spot, there's a Guyanese spot, you know, there's a this, there's a that, there's a that. You have all types of food everywhere you go. You're not gonna get that here, so just be mindful of that. You know, like, yeah, you're moving, you know, you save up your money, you about to get a house, but there's not it's not a lot of choices out here. So remember that, keep that in mind. Me and Michelle, we go to New York every year because, yeah, you can't just be from New York and then move and never go back to New York. You know, you still gotta go back to New York, you know. But yeah, we try to make a trip once a year. So the slogan is Land of Enchantment, but everyone here calls it the Land of Entrapment because A lot of people that move here or come here, they don't want to leave, or they leave and they always come back. Like I've had a lot of elderly customers where they're either from here or they're from somewhere else. They leave, they travel somewhere else, and they come back to retire here. Because I don't know, New Mexico is a really balanced place. It's not a lot of people. Cost of living is low. You can start your own whatever and be Gucci. You know, no one's gonna bother you. There's not. You go driving and there's not mad people walking around on the side. No one walks on sidewalks. You know, everyone drives. You know, like it's affordable to have a car here. You know, insurance is not that. Insurance is good. I mean, it's way lower than New York. You know, what I pay for both of my cars. New Mexico has a high crime rate, but the crime is for like car thefts. Like people steal cars out here like nothing. It's pretty crazy. But don't let that scare you, because the cars that's being stolen here are the early 2000s, the 90s. You know, cars that don't have like the immobilizing keys or security system, like cars where you can just pop the column, the ignition column, and you're gone, pretty much. So if you do move here, be mindful of that too. If you have like a 95, 98 Civic or something like that, someone's mostly gonna try to steal it if you live in Albuquerque. Oh, so speaking of Albuquerque, let me show you guys something too. So you have Albuquerque, right? This is like where, look, the university is here. University of New Mexico is here. You have the college place, whatever here. The airport is right here where everyone come in. You have Old Town, like Old New Mexico, and then you have like parks. And it's like this whole area right here is like touristy, you know, it's pretty cool. And then you get up here, like north of Albuquerque, you get like up here. So you have Rio Rancho. So Rio Rancho is like, if you live in New York, Rio Rancho is like a baby Long Island. That's what I would say. Rio Rancho is a baby Long Island. So Rio Rancho, there's like more of everything's spread out. There's really no commercial stuff. All the commercial stuff is going to be here in Albuquerque. Up here is like more houses, more land. There's a lot of land. There's like certain places. You have the hood everywhere you go. So there's a lot of places where the neighborhood is a low income neighborhood, you know, and it's because the way how this country is set up is you have these neighborhoods where money from the neighborhood it doesn't stay in the neighborhood. So like people that are spending their money that lives in the neighborhood, they're spending it to businesses that are the business owners don't live in the neighborhood. So the money doesn't go back in the community. Someone from outside somewhere come into the neighborhood, have their own business there, and collect money from the low income neighborhood, and then they take that money and go right back to wherever they came from. So that's why there's always a hood somewhere, or you know, the ghetto, or whatever everyone call it. And it's not because the people there are crazy and they all born ghetto. Like when you're born a human. You know, you don't born like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm gonna drink for the rest of my life. Like no, all that stuff is taught. But that's a whole other topic I could get into. Anyways, you're gonna have that here, and I believe that's like off of Central somewhere. Yeah, like this area right here. Like yeah, like this area over here, and then like the far corner kind. Actually, over here is actually not that bad. But like there's like if you're from New Mexico, correct me if I'm wrong. Like the so-called war zone that everyone it's somewhere over here, anyways. So if you move in here from New York, or from California, or from anywhere, you're probably just watching this because you're not from New York, but maybe from somewhere else. But you want to see what New Mexico is like. There's some places you just gotta make sure you check it out first, because there are some parts of Albuquerque that's actually good. Albuquerque is not bad. Like for example, damn, I wish like this side of town. This side of town is not bad. Man, I wish I knew what the heck this side of town is called. Like I said, I've only been here for 4 years. I still don't know everything. So, but yeah, I think this side of Albuquerque is pretty good. Northeast is the northeast side. This is what I think they call it, the northeast side. But what is it called? Sandia? What is it called exactly? I don't know. You come to Corrales, the houses is like 50 million thousand quadrillion dollars, right? And these are houses with like farmland, this big land, and just mad open space, and like it's pretty expensive to live here. But people here have horses, they have like chickens, but it's not what you think. It's not like you go here and you see the rundown houses with the animals. No, these are $1 million houses, and they have freaking farm life, like, and horses, and like, do you know how much a horse costs? Like back then, if you had a horse back, like everyone had horses back then. If you bought a car, you were rich. Nowadays, everyone has a car. If you have a horse, you are rich. You know, like it's crazy how that works. But yeah, so you have Albuquerque. Look, Talking Drums. This is one of the places I was telling you about. It's like a Caribbean place, and they sell like, you can see, you know, they have the plantains and the rice and all types of stuff. And they switch it up. It's like Jamaican food, African food. Damn, I'm hungry now. Oh yeah, yeah. See, now I need to get some of that. See, this stuff's making me hungry. So you got the soups and everything. Like, a really cool place. Really cool place if you wanna, you know, get some Caribbean dishes. Like I said, I had damn. They actually had ting there too. You get a ting. I haven't found anywhere else where you can get a ting. That's pretty cool. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to explain everything in this video because it's a big topic. Because like I said, a lot of you guys click this video because you want to leave New York. New Mexico is it's just a good state because it's balanced. Because all of the neighboring states, like Texas, like mad people live in, like you leave in New York, go to Texas. I mean the same thing. I mean there's more space, but it's mad people here. It's humid as hell. You might as well stay in New York. Arizona's hot as fuck, especially Phoenix. I don't know how people live in Phoenix, Arizona, but I guess you get used to it. But yeah, the summertime, you know, 300 degrees. I mean, you know, nothing crazy, just 300 degrees, you know. And then Utah, I mean, I don't know what the population is out there, but I don't know if there's black people out there. I don't know. I don't know. That's up to you. And Colorado, everybody's moving to Colorado, especially when the whole weed thing happened. So cost of living out there went through the roof, son. It's getting crowded in Colorado, and I have a lot of customers that moved to New Mexico from Colorado because of that. And then you have Nevada, Las Vegas. And so here's another beautiful thing I love about New Mexico. Not just about the wildlife and the nature and your mountains and all types of stuff, and everything just hours away. You could just drive to Arizona. You can drive me and Michelle drove to Las Vegas. It was 8 hours. We drove there straight. You know, like you could drive to California. You could drive to Texas. You can, because when you live in New York, you don't drive nowhere. Like, I mean, you may go up to Connecticut, Massachusetts, but who's really, no one's doing that. No one's driving that far. Me and my dad, we've driven to Georgia a few times. You know, we've driven to Connecticut a few times. Because my dad like driving. That's why I like driving. I got that from him. But majority of everyone in New York stay in New York. No one leaves New York. Like, you probably go from different boroughs. You go to Queens and Brooklyn and Bronx and stuff like that. Long Island. You know, you go to all the boroughs, but you don't, because there's so much going on there. Like, what's the point of even leaving? You know, so a lot of people never left New York. And I understand if you live in New York and never left there a day of your life. But I've met people here in New Mexico that never left New Mexico. Like, what? Like, what? Me and Michelle, we do want to plan more road trips. It's just that there's a whole pandemic going on, and it kind of killed this whole year. This whole year has been like a drag because of what's going on. But we definitely want to go back to Cali, because when we went to Cali, we went to, I believe, Palm Desert Springs or something like that. Palm Desert, I think, right here. Next time we go to Cali, we may go to San Diego, maybe LA. You know, I would love to see San Francisco. And California is just like a brolic state. It's too much going on over there. But definitely we want to do that. And then, like I said, we've driven to Colorado. We went to Arizona. Went to Nevada. We've never went to none of these stuff up here. Montana and Wyoming and Idaho. And I don't know. I would love to pass by those states, but I never would want to stay there because I don't know about those states, you know. People see us and like, oh, whoa, what are you doing here? I don't want to make this video too long, and I know I missed a lot of points, so drop a comment down below if there's a question about New Mexico, you know. And I'm not a professional at New Mexico. This is not this is everything about New Mexico. I lived here for 4 years. I'm just telling you what I know, and I'm a black man, you know. So, and I moved from New York to here, so I know a lot of people probably think that's crazy. I mean, when I first told all my friends and stuff like, hey, I'm moving to New Mexico, everyone's like, you going to Mexico? Like, they thought it was Mexico. But I'm a very adventurous person. Michelle's a very adventurous person. We love to travel. And I don't mind being uncomfortable to gain a new experience, because when you're too comfortable, you miss out on life. I mean, that's just what it is. Still, you got to be smart, though. You can't just, let me go to Idaho, and I'm just going to move there. You know, do your research. Do what you got to do. But if anybody have any questions about what it's like, you know, living here, if I miss any topics or anything like that, just comment below, write me on Instagram, write me on Twitter. You know, I'm always here to answer questions. I love when you guys comment and ask me questions I love to answer, and I got K-Fam that will answer for you guys if I don't answer, you know. So maybe I missed something, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like this 2020 update needed to be made, and I feel like I didn't write everything down and kind of had it organized where I can touch every topic that I want to touch. This is straight off the Chromodome, off the Scalati, feel me? So hopefully if you want to move here, I either convinced you or you're like, oh, okay, it's not so bad, or maybe you're gonna move here and you're like, oh no, never mind, I ain't doing that. But yeah, just hit me up, let me know what's going on. I'm in everything here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We hit 3K and we're already about to be at 3,200. Like that's pretty crazy. We hit 3K like a few days ago and we're already at 3,000, about to be at 3,200, something like that. So shout out to all the new subscribers. If you're new here, I make vlogs, I do computer stuff, and I do car stuff. And then I also make videos like these where I'm talking about my life. That's what this channel is about, my life, pretty much. So also I have a Kimbergini gaming channel if you want to see what it's like me game on a new PC I built. Also stay tuned for Michelle's PC, that's going to get built soon. And then stay tuned for my crazy PC, that's going to get built soon as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next vlog.